I'm Dr. Sarah Andreas. Welcome to the Leadership Snapshot Podcast, where we discuss leadership experiences, lessons, and look behind the scenes to inspire your leadership growth. My definition of growing as a leader is that every day you become more self-aware, more aware of others, and more of an impact. You grow so that the people around you can grow as well. So congratulations on wanting to be a leader of impact. I promise to support your journey every single episode. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. And today my guest is Pauline Yan. She is a professional in portfolio management and works in the finance industry. And I'm going to have her tell you a little bit about what's going on and what she's accomplished. So welcome, Pauline.
Thank you so much for having me. So I'm Pauline, and I am a portfolio manager at a bank. So that is, quite a nice title, but I wanted to share with everybody kind of my journey of how I got here. And it was not a glamorous journey at all. When I graduated from university, I was told that I didn't have the right degree, I didn't have the right work experience, and I just had this notion of what I wanted. And, I had to find a lot of different ways to get here. And, one of those things included a 2-year stint stuffing envelopes at the bank. So definitely not glamorous. I got a lot of paper cuts, I'll tell you that.
So you had a degree and you spent 2 years stuffing envelopes?
That's right. I had a degree in psychology, and I got it at McGill University. And McGill is, a good school with an international reputation. But because I wanted to pivot into finance and not in my field of study, I really just had to start right at the bottom and prove to everybody that, I was serious about what I wanted to do. So yes, it was very, very humbling, those 2 years of me sitting in a cubicle with just stacks of envelopes to stuff. So, but that's how a lot of people do start. We hear a lot about the people who are in the right place at the right time and all of that, and they just got kind of skyrocketed to the top. And we love those stories, but they're few and far between. So I did spend 2 years stuffing envelopes, but that wasn't 8 hours a day. There was a couple hours where maybe there's some downtime, and I would volunteer for projects, trying to just kind of learn as much as I could. During this time, I kept my eyes out for opportunities, learn from other people in the office and in the industry. And then, after a couple of years of me working during the day, stuffing envelopes, and me studying at night, I did get a finance designation. And that really started me on a path where, people did take me a little bit seriously about my intent to become a portfolio manager. So overall, I'm going to say from the moment I entered the industry to where I actually got the title that I was really hoping for was a good 10 to 12 years.
Wow.
It's really not an overnight story. Throughout that time, there are promotions and there are lessons. And I had many, many months of thinking, what am I doing here? I'm like, I could be working at the Apple store and still make more money. Like there is that. But I had a really good mentor that taught me that, opportunity and preparedness will intersect sometime in your life. Opportunity is luck, and you can't control that. But preparedness, you can. And so he said, prepare now, and when that opportunity comes, you'll be right where you're supposed to be. And it's very frustrating to hear that as a 23-year-old with 4 paper cuts, but it is the truth. It's people who've gone before me, and so I did take that to heart. It was humbling, and but after all of that, it was worth it, because I did become a portfolio manager, and I got to where I wanted to go. And one thing I wanted to share with everybody is that then it keeps changing. Because once I became a portfolio manager, and that was my dream for the past 10 years, I later learned that wasn't enough, only because that was a little bit of an external dream. Other people would view my career as a success, but it wasn't fulfilling to me in my heart. So it took a couple of years for me to really do some soul searching and come up with an idea that marries all the experience I have, and all the frustration, and all of the obstacles I've encountered. And then I'm going to, launch a business that combines all of these things with a passion, with something that gives me purpose. So I wanted to let everyone know that, you don't have to get a home run right out of the gate. And then even when you do, there are more innings to go.
I love that. That's such a vivid mind picture for me of, even when you hit it out of the gate, there's another inning. There's another thing that you're going to be responsible to do. So My next question is, what was your biggest leadership lesson that you learned?
So the biggest leadership lesson that I learned was that, leadership is it's not what most people think it is. It's not the person sitting in the corner office. It's not the person who sits at the head of the boardroom. Leadership is, in a way, selling your idea. Doesn't matter if you are, kind of middle management or you're starting out, but it's about you selling your idea from the heart that benefits everybody, and you can communicate that it benefits everybody. And the leadership is actually when you get everybody on board and you say, yeah, this is what we need to be doing. And, for people who are going to volunteer their time, we're all busy, we're all working 9 to 5, but perhaps you have a project, an extra work project that you want to do, but you need other people. And leadership is actually convincing people to come with you on this journey. It's not a title, and it's really about how you can inspire people to go that extra mile for you.
I love it. So one of the things that we were talking about a little bit ago before we got on the podcast was your SundayBrunchCafe.com. And that's your new project that you're working on right now. And I'd love for you to tell my listeners a little bit more about that and about how that came into being.
Well, thanks. That's my new project that I am working on after hours. And it is for professional women to learn about finance and investing. So, here we are, we're climbing the corporate ladder, we're making the money, but how are we going to invest it? And that's what that's the new inning that I'm in this game. And a lot of the reason I wanted to do this was because when I got my professional title, I still felt like something was a little bit missing. I had a good title, I had respect, I had a very comfortable life. But but there was this idea of what was I going to be leaving behind in my career? How am I really helping, impacting, and touching people? And I think most of us are going to say, well, we don't go to the bank, we don't talk to tellers, we're not really doing any of these things. And so I thought, how can I help the people who need help and that are really being ignored by the existing institutions? So the reason I created Sunday Brunch Cafe, and I named it such, was because I saw that women and men, they just want different things when it comes to finances. And because finance is so male dominated, they don't really talk to women and address what they want. They seem to tell you what you should be wanting. And so, but what I think what women really want is to know that they are on a good path, that they're providing for their family, that they're providing for their future, and that they're going to be able to take care of their kids, take care of their aging parents, give back to the community. And so I feel like that is what I wanted to convey. Sunday Brunch Cafe, again, is one of those non-intimidating titles. It denotes that we're going to have a good time, we're going to get together, we're going to talk about things that matter, but in a communal way. And women just take a couple hours for themselves to have lunch with the girls, and sometimes that's for a busy working mom, those couple of hours just feeds the soul.
I love that. So what advice would you give to a young professional who wants to grow and feels like they're stuck?
So I would also say for every professional, no matter what age they are, but especially when they are young, is that your runway is incredibly long. I know it doesn't seem like that, but the runway is really long. So that's why I know it's really hard to be patient and to see what is down on the runway, but just keep on working hard, but be smart about it, right? Invest in yourself, and it's never too late to make a course correction. If you are really stuck in terms of you hate your job and you hate the company's mission and all of that, it's not too late to turn around and do something else. But if you're feeling stuck because it's been 18 months since your last promotion and you really wanted to make manager by now, just stick it out. Remember that you will have the rest of your life to become a manager. So right now, invest in yourself, invest in learning new things, and invest in the relationships that you build. Not in the sleazy networking sense, but take a real interest in what your colleagues are doing, and it gives you a better picture of the business in general. And so when somebody asks you for your opinion, you will come up with a great opinion that sees the whole business, sees things from your unique perspective. And I think that again would help set you apart in management's eyes.
That's great advice, Pauline. Thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me and my listeners on my podcast today.
Oh, it was such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Leadership Snapshot. And if you'd like to hear more podcasts that are very similar to this, please make sure you subscribe so that way you know when a new podcast comes out. All right, embrace your journey, and I'll talk to you next week.